Estamos en vivo. This is the city of the sun. El Paso, Texas. Live in Dallas. Fashion.
Yeah,
Icons.
Chuco Town,
Artists.
come on, yeah, yeah,
Food. Sports.
Chuco Town,
Y mucho más.
come on, yeah, yeah, Chuco Town,
Different is what we do. Live and talented.
Get discovered, get exposure, and play at the next level. Prep One. Follow us on all social media platforms.
The catwalk, the photos, the lights, the camera, the action. Get on your prime and begin training today. Register at latstudio.com and become a Halo model.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Life and Talented. I am so excited to be here with you tonight. Tonight is the first night that I get to present to you all our icon segment using our new backdrop. So I hope everybody at home or wherever you're watching us enjoys it and loves it. For tonight's segment, we have a very special guest for Icons. We have an amazing, multi-talented individual. His name is Ocean. So Mr. Ocean is a longevity specialist and also a master healer. He is working with Jake Paul in his boxing career. And not only that, but he's also worked with other stars like Logan Paul and Diplo. He is also an ex-UTEP minor football player, right? That's so crazy. He was born in Oklahoma, but then he moved over here to El Paso. So I'm so excited to have him on the show because I said all those things, but he's also an engineer, right? It's so crazy. I can keep on talking about this individual, but let's just jump right into it so y'all can meet Ocean. So let's go ahead and kick it off with Tony Aleman and Ocean.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Live and Talented. And we're back with Icons. It's been a while since we've seen you. And we're really excited because we have a very special guest all the way from Puerto Rico, originally from Texas. Good old friend of mine came to UTEP, played football here, and we became good friends. But now he's traveled the world. And you should see his social media, which we're gonna be running some pictures. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor, it's my pleasure to welcome to the show, Mr. Ocean. How are you, bud?
What's up, Tony?
How are you, man? So you're a longevity specialist and a master healer. How
Indeed.
cool is that, man? I mean, when I heard this, when we were briefly talking a couple of days ago, you've come a long way, and you live a very happy life and easy going. It looks like you have a blast.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've both come a long way, right?
Absolutely.
We've both come a long way from the crazy El Paso youth. So I feel like we've always had a good time. You know what I mean? We've always had fun. I've definitely always had fun. I'm definitely a lot more chill now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Than back when you used to know me. So, but definitely having fun. Just the type of fun has evolved. Obviously, it's centered more around health, but
Yes.
some of my clients are pretty crazy, and they're definitely super fun, and that makes my life just a little extra fun. So
Well, I'm gonna say, Ocean, that you're an icon in our books because not only have you had an amazing journey that we're gonna talk about in just a little bit, your story is very inspirational, but you work with big, huge names like Jake Paul, Logan Paul.
Diplo. Diplo.
Exactly, Diplo. So you work with Diplo?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is what makes you an icon. And this show is designed to inspire and motivate people across the world, whoever's watching. And so we want
by
to
the way,
learn.
all my clients are kind of a big deal.
They are.
They're all kind of a big deal. Even if they're not like on the big stage, they're like low key
Awesome.
popping.
I like that. I like how you put that. Absolutely. And you're right. Everybody's life, matters, right? And we all go through something and we all want to grow. So I'm sure that's what you're there, in their lives for. But before we move on, I want to start off with a quick game. You want to test our friendship. You ready?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while. I'll definitely, I know I'll beat you. But,
Yeah.
but
All right, here we
it's
go.
been a while.
Check this out. All right. This game is called Test Your Friendship. Okay. And
Okay.
The idea is how many answers can we get right out of 10? Really simple. If we get 2 right, it's more like new phone, who this, right? If we get 4 right, we're cool. If we get 6 right, that's my boy. If we get 8 right, we're bros for life.
Hey,
right.
man, we're bros for life no matter what.
No matter
Let's
what.
go.
All right, then. All right. So I'm going to ask the question and
Okay.
you're going to write it and then we're going to flip at the same time.
Okay.
Cool? All right.
Cool.
Here we go. What year did we meet?
Okay. Okay.
We have 4 minutes for this game, by the way, and we have 10 questions.
Okay.
We got to make it fast.
All right. Cool.
Ready? Oh, you flipped already. Here we
Oh,
go.
wait, sorry.
3, 2, 1. Boobs.
No, I was just seeing if I did that wrong. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. So you got 2001, 2002.
It
I
was
think-
right. It was New Year's of 2001. So it was actually both.
There we go. So we get points. There we
Yeah,
go. We
it
got
was-
one right.
It was literally New Year. It was
You're
a
right.
New Year's party.
What place? What was it?
Speaking Rock Casino.
Rock Casino.
Those were the
All right,
good old days,
cool.
bro.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got one right. Here we go. You ready for the second question?
Yes.
All right. Who was a better performer? Ebok or Tony? Ocean or Tony?
That's very easy.
Ready to flip?
Yeah.
3, 2, go. Nah!
Yeah, right.
You're too kind, bro. We're too
You're
kind.
tripping, bro. Dude,
There
you
we go.
had-
Well,
dude, you had the Hispanic swag. You're always drippy. You had the your underwear matched your socks and your shoes, bro. Like,
you remember the
You
beanies?
went up-
Remember the beanies?
bro, I was just buff. I just went up there like no dancing ability at all, and I'd just be like, bro. And girls would be like, yeah.
We're gonna talk about that because we have a lot of great pictures of you. Your Instagram and your
Okay.
Facebook are loaded with cool pictures. So you guys are gonna see just a little bit what we're talking about. Here we go. My producer's telling me 3 minutes. Here we go.
Okay.
What's each other's last name?
Okay.
Should we go with the new last name? All right, here we go.
Either one of them wins.
All right. Ready to flip?
Okay. Yeah.
3, 2, go.
I wrote it twice just because.
There it is. Yeah, you got it. You got it. Nailed it. Did I get it right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, Eboculus.
Well,
All right.
I mean, my first and last name were the same, so it's kind of extra easy for you. I have changed my name, but
Exactly. So what's the score, guys? My production team. We're 2-1. All right, here we go. And how many times did Ocean beat Tony?
wait, can we just say who won more?
Okay. All right, who
modify
won
the-
more? There we go. Let's change the question.
Okay.
Who won more times?
Out of the times we competed, who won more?
Yeah, yes.
Out of the times we
Yes.
competed.
Ready? 3, 2, flip.
Bullshit, bro. Yeah, right. Yeah, right, bro.
Oh my
close.
God.
It
You were
was
selfish
close.
on that one.
It was close, but I
All
definitely
right.
won.
I think people should vote on that, man. I think people are, if you guys are watching, go down there right now and tell us who won the most. If you guys know, back in the days,
Seriously.
early 2000.
Honestly, I remember it being close, but I thought I was ahead.
I don't know. I'm not going to say. You had a lot of good ones. I will say. All right. What's each other's undergraduate degree?
Okay. Okay.
That was a tough
Well,
one.
That's a tough one. I know one of your trainings.
Okay. I'm going to say if you're a master healer now, you got to be somewhere in anatomy or health. Okay. I'm going to go with what's the degree where coaches usually get this degree? Kinesiology?
Physical therapy.
Okay, hold on. Don't say it. I'm gonna write it.
No, I was just answering your question.
Okay. All right, here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, go.
Okay.
Photography,
it says-
trainer, finance. No. Did I get it?
No.
No. What's your degree?
I double majored computer engineering and finance, and I'm currently getting my PhD in natural medicine.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Christ.
And you thought I was just a pretty face.
Well, my degree is actually in communications and PR.
Okay.
Yeah. What's each other's favorite seasons of the year? Fall,
Okay.
spring, winter, or summer? Here we go. Yeah, you live in Puerto Rico, so I think this is a given. All right, here we
Ready?
go. 3, 2, go. Yeah, baby. Summer.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah,
You
baby.
already know.
That's cool. All right.
Any opportunity for Tony to take off his shirt? So it's gonna have to be summer.
Back then, boy, look at this. Back then, man. I need to go to you. I need to go get training in Puerto Rico.
And get the anti-aging program.
Yeah,
Get your hormones optimized.
absolutely. All right, here we go. What's each other's favorite athlete?
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, I think that's easy. Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, go. Jordan!
Yeah, baby.
Dude, I just posted not too long ago. I was in Chicago and I posted that I was at that Jordan statue inside the Chicago Bulls.
Wait, so you got it right.
Well,
Yeah. He's definitely my favorite athlete right
okay,
now.
so I got it right. You got mine. We
I
nailed
got
it.
yours?
Yeah, Jordan is my favorite athlete.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, you have more than just that post. You have many posts with Jordan.
Yeah.
And
And I'm a big soccer freak. My kids are soccer players. But I think Jordan is the GOAT, man, the real GOAT. All right, here we go. What's each other's favorite muscle to work out?
okay.
I'm going to say for you, this is ready?
I work out.
3, 2, go. Yeah, baby.
Easy.
Chest. You got it right.
Easy. That's easy.
All right, here we go. What's each other's favorite U.S. city?
U.S. city.
Yeah.
Uh,
Let's see. I'm gonna say. Ready? 3, 2. City of Angels for you? Yeah. We
you
got-
too?
Yeah, that's mine. Yeah. I figured that was gonna be yours because you lived there not too long ago, right? You were there. as well.
Yeah, I did. I like Miami because I lived in both back and forth, and I also used to live in Vegas. But LA is the GOAT for sure.
Yeah, that's everything. Okay, here we go. Last question, and it's gonna be a good one because I have a little something to show, and it's a world premiere. Who's the biggest celebrity that I know? And in your case, which one's the one? I'm gonna try the one to guess the one that you know. What's the biggest celebrity you've met? And then you have to guess which one I've met.
That's challenging. Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna guess the biggest celebrity you know based off pictures.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go with, and well, yeah, it has to. I'm gonna go with that. Ready? Guess who I know.
Okay, I will.
Are you going to my Facebook?
No.
All right, here we go. Yeah, this. I
Okay.
mean, this guy is huge, so I think this has to be the biggest one. But you proved me wrong. 3, 2, go. Memo Dia. Hold on, is this the biggest celebrity you know?
I mean, I think he's the biggest. He's the most poppin' celebrity right now. So
Yeah.
he's he's about to be the highest paid athlete of the year.
Jesus Christ, man.
So
Wow.
that
Let me give you the one that I know.
who?
I met Johnny Depp, and I've never released. It's been since 2011, I think. It's been 10 years, and I've never ever posted this video because I get so starstruck, and I say the dumbest shit, and it's funny, man. So I'm gonna show everybody, okay, this world premiere. You guys ready? I've never done it, man. I'm embarrassed, to be honest with you.
Let's see it.
So here we go. Let's roll this video. Hey, that's Johnny. Oh, God damn. Thank you. Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Awesome.
Johnny, can we get some pictures? Thank you.
Oh, that's awesome. That's what I say. Can you believe that? If you
Oh
guys
my
watch at home, it's ridiculous. Do you guys agree? Anyway, I never posted it because I thought it was, and you know, it being that I got to, you know, you get to work with Jake Paul. I figured, man, I got to match that, and I think that's my biggest moment, man. You know, Johnny Depp. But anyway,
Johnny Depp.
so who's yours?
I've never thought about that. I've never thought about it like that. But the one that I was most starstruck by, and like was Carmen Electra, and that was like actually in El Paso.
What?
And
Where did this happen? Where was
I
I?
was like modeling at some. It was like at El Paso Stadium, or I don't know what stadium. It was some stadium in El Paso,
Okay.
and it's like a last minute event. I was in college, and I went and modeled at it, and then she was at the event doing her thing, and then we were like backstage, and all these people were trying to get her autograph, and I ran up just as the security was like, no more. And I'm like, Carmen. She's like, okay, him. And then I went over there, and I just like, I ripped off my shirt, and I was like, I want you to sign here. And she signed, and I literally did not wash my chest for like 2 weeks. I kept it on there for
Put a patch of tape.
I did, absolutely.
Thanks for playing that first game. It's awesome. We get to learn a little bit more about you and more organically. But I want to know, a little bit, deeper into your career path, which is why we're here. And so we'll do away with this game, but nonetheless, give us just a very brief background of Ocean, and where you're born, where you're raised, and who you are. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually was born and raised in Tulsa, Oklahoma, to two extremely Nigerian parents, two extremely Nigerian, very religious doctors. And so I was raised very sheltered, extremely sheltered, went to church 4 times a week, gay church. And my dad was a super genius PhD biochemist, my mom a medical doctor. And my born name is Ibach. It's my father's name, grandfather's name, great-grandfather's name, great-great-grandfather's name, on and on and on. I'm the
So you're how many generations? How far back?
96.
How many?
96. Yeah. I don't really talk about this stuff anymore because I fully committed to changing my name, and I don't even go by formally anymore, but I know you, and you have such a beautiful history together, and there's very few people that I maintain friends with just over time, just life moving and everything. But so it feels nice to just kind of talk about it. But that's my heritage is, first generation growing up here in the U.S. in Tulsa, Oklahoma, of all places, where, it was challenging. I did experience some weird racism, and it was really, really challenging, actually. It was challenging. My parents were really out of touch with like Americans and like what was cool and what wasn't. So it was like really hard for me. But it was a good upbringing for sure. I'm really thankful for my parents and the love that they had and how they guided me. But I was definitely had the foundation to be a healer. Some of the first games me and my brothers and sisters played were healer games. And my name means medicine, by the way. So it's my first and last name mean medicine. My born name, medicine. And my dad, grandfather, on and on. I have a lot of chiefs and healers and kind of spiritual people in my lineage. Yeah. And I really grew up as Urkel all the way till high school, and I was pretty much Urkel. I was super nerdy, chess club kid, epic at math and science. And freshman year in high school, something really, really bad happened. Really bad. It actually had to do with racism. It was just, I was so fed up with it. Somebody I was in love with. And, for the third time, happened in elementary, happened in middle school, now it happened freshman year in high school. They they told her that if she ever brought home a black guy, they'd kill her or disown her. So
What?
and so when I was a kid, going through that the first time, and a couple other situations where I didn't get I'm very African. My parents are very African, so they never taught me Black history because that wasn't my history. So it was a little bit confusing because like they would tell me about Africa, but it was like Disneyland to me because I'd never been there. And so I felt very like out of touch. And so the first time that happened, I was like, oh, I'm gonna show the whole world that all black guys are good, because I didn't even think that. I thought, like, I believe the stereotype because I was raised around African parents and white people,
Yeah.
So I even picked up from TV that like black men were like, I didn't know what a pimp was at that time. I just thought they dressed like crazy clothes and drove Camaros. But I thought all black guys are like pimps and drug dealers, because like my parents never told me anything. Like nobody told me. So the couple times I watched secular programming, that's what I picked up, which, goes to show how like receptive kids are to what the underlying narrative is. But so, as in third grade, I took on the weight of the race after that first time that happened, right? I changed who I was, which was an inquisitive, adventurous kid that loved to push his limits and check, Ewok, don't cross this line. And I'm like, as my hand's going over the line, but why? Like I always have my boundary. And so I kind of stopped doing that because I realized in third grade that like, if I'm in a group of kids and all these groups are white because I go to a rich white school, if we're doing something bad, if we get in trouble, I already knew who they think made all the kids do it. So I wouldn't even let anybody do anything bad around me. And I tried to be such a good kid. And then that happened again in middle school. I couldn't change who I was. I kept being who I was. Happened freshman year in high school, and I lost it. The anger just kept growing and growing. And I thought I'd be able to cry myself to sleep and feel better in the morning. I woke up in the morning, it was Saturday morning. It was actually really crazy because freshman year in high school, after season, I didn't get to play. It was my first year ever playing sports. I really wanted to be strong because I'm just this nerdy math kid.
Yeah.
And so we tested at the beginning of off season, and I had the weakest bench, weakest power clean, second weakest squat, slowest guy on the team. That's who I was.
Freshman year.
Freshman year after season. So here we are. We start our off-season program. I'm committed. So I'm the first one in, last one out. First one in, last one out. So 2 months go by, and on that Friday, they're like, we're gonna have everybody work out together. So the underclassmen worked out with the seniors and juniors.
Yeah.
We all like worked out together, and we had this epic off-season day where we had stations on the blacktop. We had stations in the gym. Coaches let us control the music, which they never did. They let us play Biggie and Tupac with cuss words. We were playing Rage Against the Machine, unedited, and like all this stuff.
Yeah.
We turned it up as loud as we wanted. This is the first time they ever let us do this. So we were going nuts. I got Joe Brilliant and John Salcedo like helping me lift. I was just like freaking out, like, oh my God. And we all went so hard. It was so much fun. And everybody pushed so hard. And coaches like were happy. They didn't care that there was cuss words on. It was the best day. And for the first time since off season started,
Yeah.
2 months after off season started, I left when everybody else left. Like
Wow.
they close it, and I left when everybody else left, and I literally it was like low key so weird just thinking about looking at myself. I literally like snuck my hand over here actually and patted myself on the back. I literally did. And I told myself, Ebok, today you for sure lifted as much as you could possibly lift.
Wow.
You know, I was getting spotted by my heroes, right? And I left with everybody else. I remember the first time I walked out, you know, everybody's like walking to the locker room. I walked to the locker room with everyone.
That's so
And
cool.
no doubt over that 2 months, I was getting a little stronger. But after that, you know, get on the phone, call this girl. She's like, look, right, calling. And then she finally gets back to me. She's like, look, we can't talk anymore, blah, blah. She tells me the situation, what happened. I'm devastated. And I just can't stop thinking about like how many times this already happened. Like as hard as I tried to be a good person and show the world, like they still were just gonna look at the color of my skin and judge me. And so I thought I'd be able to cry myself to sleep and feel better in the morning. And I woke up in the morning madder than I've ever been in my life. And it would not stop going. And so I was like, I gotta go. And I'm new to that town. I've only been there for like 3 or 4 months from Oklahoma. This is at Coronado, by the way.
Wow.
So I don't know what to do, but I got to leave my house. I start walking. The only place I know where to walk is the school. So I walk all the way to the school. It's a Saturday. I know the weight room's closed. I'm walking across the blacktop. For some reason, I'm walking by. I grab the doorknob and it's open. So I open the weight room. I go in there. Sorry, Coach Brooks, rest in peace. But I was throwing chairs across the weight room, screaming, crying. I was so upset. And what I did next, I cannot explain to this day. I cannot explain. I really can't. But I put on so much weight on the bar, on the bench press, so much weight. More weight than I could possibly do one time. Okay. And after, like, we maxed it out the day before, like as hard as we could go. So my muscles are fatigued, right?
Yeah.
I don't have a lift off. I don't have a spot. And this is more weight than I could possibly lift one time. I get under that bench and I scream and I lift it up. So I kind of like blank out a little, but I auto count. Like even when like people are doing stuff around me, like over there, I'm like looking this way, like I'll auto count how many, whatever's going on. And so I'm auto counting myself, like, and I come back to like awareness at 18, 19, 20, 21. And I'm just like, so what freaked me out wasn't that I shouldn't have been able to lift it one time and I'm at 21. What freaked me out was that I wasn't supposed to be able to lift it not one time. I was at 21 and it was paper light, Tony. It was so, I could have done 100 of them.
Wow.
And so I start,
it's mental.
out, like something must be wrong. Something must be wrong. What's wrong? How am I doing this? What's wrong? I rack the weight. I sit up. And I'm like, my mind's going so fast trying to figure out what's happening. And I for a moment, I felt my power like decrease. And what I registered as a gate, like almost like a rusty gate because it made a sound on the right side of my mind, like closed, right? And then I went to like regular strength, and I was like aware. I was aware. I was aware that just closed. I was aware that my power had subsided, and I was like, what was that? And
you still have the weight, or you racked it already by then?
I
had already
racked
racked it.
I
Okay.
sat up, and I was aware. And so what happened over those next 3 months was crazy, because I wasn't able to ever do what I did just like that.
Well,
But
I'm going to say that it's all mental. I mean, that's where we're headed, right? I mean, it's all mental. It's power of the brain, and
yeah, it's connected to the brain, but it's beyond the brain. Like who we are is beyond our brain, but it's more. It's definitely the mind, though. You're right, absolutely.
hold that thought. We're going to go to break real quick. Hold that thought, because we're going to talk exactly where I know where we're getting with this, and this is actually part of your career path. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, we're going to take a quick break. Thank our sponsors. We'll be right back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is not the end of our interview. Stay tuned. But for now, we're going to go ahead and take a special moment to thank our sponsors.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Ibach, you have a very, very interesting story that even though I've known you for years, I had no clue this was part of your journey, man. You were saying this happened, right in high school, middle of high school. And we
Beginning
left
of
off.
high school, end of freshman year.
Wow. So this is the end. This is the beginning. So then how does this shape you? Talk to me.
Lordy Boculus.
Lord Ibach.
Yeah.
Talk to me. What happened next?
So you said a really powerful thing, though. You said that it's all mental.
Yep.
But as we transition into my career and what I do now, it's not necessarily mind. It's rather lack of mind. It's rather a surrender to, in that moment, I was okay with dying. Like I did not care. I was done. Like and in that forgetfulness, I also forgot how weak I was, so it's surrender, and that's what I do now. But over those 3 months after that experience happened, even though I wasn't able to do it in the same way, just knowing that was possible, Tony, I was able to boom, 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 boom. In 3 months, okay, first of all, at the beginning of off season, when we tested, everybody laughed at me because I was talking so much smack. I didn't feel like I was worthy. I didn't have self-love at the time. So I would lie and say that my mom's cousin was Deion Sanders and my dad's cousin was Shaq, and so they're like, so how are you gonna do? And I'm like, I'm gonna be the fastest one. I'm gonna be the strongest one. And then we tested, and I was just like, just this biggest dork, and everybody was making fun of me. So I was determined.
But I think most kids at that age kind of lie about so many things because you're trying to fit in, you know?
Trying to fit in, you know? That's true. So over the next 3 months, so that was 2 months of like lifting and seeing myself get a little bit stronger, and then boom, my whole existence exploded, and all I did was study it. This is early internet. I'm a nerd. I'm a science geek, chess club kid. So all I do is study on the old internet, like trying to figure out. And I saw 3 documented instances of women picking up cars because their child was stuck under the car. And I thought it was so powerful. It wasn't men picking up cars. Like even bodybuilders can't pick up cars. But at that time, I found 3 documented instances of women, supposed to be the weaker sex, picking up cars because they did not care about their life. Something was trying to take the love of their life away, and women love harder, especially when it comes to children.
Yeah.
And they who are supposed to be the weaker pick up a car.
Wow.
Since then, there's been many more documented stories. Recently, in Australia, a 16-year-old girl, 85 pounds, her dad walks into the garage. Her dad, who weighed as much as me, but much chubbier, 240 pounds. He's working on the car. The jack fails. It falls on top of him. He goes unconscious. The daughter happens to walk into the garage, 16 years old, right? She lifts up the car, pulls out her 240-pound dad, brings him back to life with CPR, got a medal from the fire department. Like it happened. 16 years old.
Wow.
Women are like, God is for sure a woman. I don't care what anybody says. Like I've done the research. I can prove biologically, mathematically, sacred geometrically, you know, evolutionarily, it had to be. Anyways, I know I'm going over. You don't know.
No, you're passionate about this. I get this.
But,
this is what you do.
Like that's all. Like I'm like, that's what happened to me. That's what happened to me. Someone tried to take love away from me, and nothing else mattered. Nothing. Everybody who knows me, I've always been a hopeless romantic.
You know what? I'm a father. I'm a father of 4, and I've been in small, not extreme situations like those, but I can relate in smaller situations where, you know, if you mess with my kids, like there's a lie and there's something else that comes out that I think parents can relate to, you know?
Absolutely. That love is the strongest force in the universe.
How do you transmit or transition, not transmit, how do you transition with all those experiences and the research you've done, the studies that you've done, your degrees, how does all that come about and form you with your career path? How does that come together?
Well, first it became an obsession with the superhuman. I eventually became the strongest in high school, set all the records, set the squat record. My name's still painted on the wall 23 years later at Coronado for the squat record, 1,000-pound club, stud squat. Then I got a D1 scholarship to UTEP. I wanted to go to the NFL. You know, Coach Nord at the time was like, you know, this guy's going to be playing on Sundays. And so it was about utilizing that to be the superhuman, right? Yeah. I thought I was going to be, you know, NFL and then take that money and invest it in science projects and run a bunch of like science and engineering companies.
Yeah.
Right. So,
hold on. Let's roll this video real quick, guys. I want you guys to see a little bit more of Ibach in those years. Let's roll this video real quick.
Ibach might have the best body on the field.
I knew you were admiring that before the game. Hey.
Second down, and Purify is going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. At about the 9-yard line, number 92, Ibok leading the charge.
And that's your guy right there, Mark. I know you were admiring that body before the game. He's about a 5% body fat guy. And we see just bringing both inside linebackers penetration. And Ibok made the play in the backfield. He's actually Ibok Jr. His dad is Ibok Sr.
I wonder what Senior looks like. 15, Platt under duress and sacked back at the 27-yard line by Ibok.
There's your guy, Mark. Ibok. He was a 200-pound linebacker. They say this kid loves to work out.
Let's go down to Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, you're talking and raving about the body of Ibok. He is actually a personal trainer in the Texas El Paso area. He goes to gyms and has clients where he works them out as his summer job. They say he's very proud of that body, but not only does he work out, he has outstanding nutrition. Do you guys want me to get a business card, see if he can hook you up? Please,
Holly, I need a few protein shakes. The nutrition part is what usually gets me. Don't forget, folks, that Sports Purify stopped up at about the 9 by Ibok. Nice surge on the right side of that defensive front by UTEP. It's interesting how Ibok really impressed by the coaching staff. You got to be impressed by his play here.
And Ibok, again, you're going to see him right here, the 5 technique. And he's going to get an awful lot of penetration right here. That's a heck of a play right there. And again, sets up a passing situation here for Colorado. Again, Joel Klatt gets rocked. Joel Klatt gets rocked. Joel Klatt gets rocked. Joel Klatt gets rocked. Joel Klatt gets rocked right there by Ibok.
And Klatt got drilled after he...
I had to interrupt, guys. This guy is just a guru. His body is shaped aesthetically just correct, if you will. But you were saying?
Perfect intermission for... I eventually became the strongest pound for pound in the NCAA. So I was, bench pressing 450, squatting 650, and power cleaning like 380 at 240 pounds. So I thought it was invincible. I thought it was, I honestly got to the point where my ego just thought I was God. Like by my senior year, and I'm getting interest from the NFL, and the NFL at that time was going through big scandals with troublemakers. So they weren't as apt to bring me on. I was
and you were already tall. You were a tall guy by then, right?
Yeah, but I was underweight for my position. So I ended up playing Arena 1 and Arena 2, which was great. It was a great experience and I enjoyed it.
What's your height, Ocean?
I'm 6'4.5".
Jesus. Big boy. So you did arena football. I didn't know clue that you did arena football.
Yeah, I played arena football. So that moment, freshman year, that pain that I went through actually reshaped my life. I would have never gotten an opportunity to get a D1 scholarship. That would have never happened. I wasn't that guy. Trust me, I wasn't that guy. And then I wouldn't have got to play pro ball. I wouldn't have got to, after pro ball, I went into pro fighting, right? I trained MMA for years. I was getting ready to start fighting MMA. So I was actually on the Contender heavyweight training camp. I was almost an American Gladiator. After that, I've been in 3 action movies.
Wow.
2 with Danny Trejo. He's the homie.
Yeah.
And Hector Echevarria. A lot of Latin fans might know who he is.
Yeah.
And
dude, had no clue, man. That's dope.
Yeah, man.
Damn. So how did you land Jake Paul? I think that's the ultimate question. That's what's on my papers, on my note from my producer. What happened with Jake Paul? How did you become his trainer?
Okay, so
Run to that
I
part.
have a background in pro sports, but I also have a background in being incredibly injured. And after all the pro football and the Contender Heavyweight training camp where I, had 3 like fights and won, but just ended up destroying my body. And went in, part of my journey was like chronic pain in my late 20s and early 30s. I was in tremendous pain, and I went to all the best doctors that I had access to, and chiropractors and everything, and they couldn't get me out of pain. And I was like, actually, I started getting really mad, and I started getting really resentful. I'm like, how can you call yourself a healer? How, like, the allopathic got me mad right away. Like, all they had for me was pain pills. And so I was out of there. So I went to like alternative medicine, and I tried everybody. I spent money out of my pocket, like everything that I had, going to these people to get out of pain. And I couldn't believe it, but that ended up making me more mad. You know why? Because when holistic treatments didn't work, they almost had the attitude like as if, oh, well, they're working for my other clients. So, without saying it, they were like, I guess you're not woke enough. Like, that was like the energy I was getting back.
Wow.
Because I was pressing them like, come on, like, I'm willing to do that and get, I guess you're not woke enough. And I was just like, that made me even more mad. And I like almost wanted to go to war against them. I was mad. I was very resentful. And because I had that background in like healing, in college, I already started healing people. Like, I had amazing girlfriends. Shout out to Sylvia. She would touch me in ways that I couldn't believe. Like, she'd be able to, I remember she was giving me back rub one time. That girl was magic. That was my college love of my life. But she was giving me a back rub one time early in our relationship. And I like kept looking back, like really moved. I was like, but how do you know? Like, how do you know? How do you know? Like, that's so amazing. And it would blow my mind. I'm like, how is this chick who's never like given a massage better than these trainers at school and these chiropractors I'm going to? Like, that's crazy. I'm like, and one day after a while of that, I was like, man, she's good, but man, I wish I could have somebody who had my size hands, which I have the biggest hands on the planet. and as strong as my hands, as big as my hands, man, that would feel amazing. I said that in college. And then I'm like, wait, I have as big of hands as me, and I have the strength. And so I already like touch is my love language. People ask me what my love language is. I'm like, well, my first, second, and third love language is touch. Like, it's like a big deal. So I like, as soon as I recognized that, I ran into the locker room the next day, and I'm just like, I'm gonna heal everybody. And I ran in there and I start like grabbing my homies, and all the black guys like, nigga, get the fuck up off me, man. What's wrong with you with that gay ass shit, nigga? Like, that homo shit, nigga, always with that gay ass shit. And I'm just like, man, I'm just trying to help. And the white boys are like, man, you can do that over here, man. You got a kink in my neck. So I'd be like, I went over there, I was like working on him. And because like me and Sylvia had been going back and forth, and I was like, I never got to work on a big dude before. And so I was like tearing them up, and they were feeling good. Boy, that next week, all the black guys were just like, what's up, my bros? You know, kind of tight right here. You know, could you hook it up?
You want to work on me?
I thought it was gay. I thought it was homo. And so that's really where it started. It was like, I wanted to heal other warriors that have my same body, and I wanted to heal the big dudes. But I never saw myself as like I always saw myself as a fell obese, an athlete, and I moved to California to find something healthier. And, you know, I dedicated myself to like anti-aging, started mentoring with Dr. Nick Delgado, hormone superstar specialist, anti-aging doctor. Dr. Michael Grossman wrote the book on stem cells. And so I learned that background as well. So the combination of that with I was still in pain, and eventually I just had to dedicate my life to yoga. Like I literally gave up sex for a year. It was like one of my happiest
You
days.
gave up sex for a year?
For a year. And you know how much I love the ladies, right? So no, literally. So what I do now is I do age suspension, age reversal. Like I figured out how to reverse the aging process. It's brand new, whatever. Like it's actually insane. But this was years and years ago. I was still in chronic pain, and I thought I figured it out. Like I literally stayed up for 2 days. I couldn't sleep. Because when you start going down a rabbit hole with a mind like mine, you can't stop.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't sleep. All I could do is think. And so here I am, 2 days up. My mind is in such an analytical place, and I cracked the code. This is one aspect of the code, but I thought I cracked the full code. So I was like, oh my God, I've been committed to living to 200 since I was 6 years old. And I found out the prophecy about my name. So I wanted to stick around and see something that had to do with my lineage. So I committed at 6 years old. And so I'm like, oh my God, like I figured it out. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna achieve my goal. It was literally one of the happiest days of my life. I put my hands like this. I lean back in my computer chair like this, and I feel the pain in my neck, because that's where my chronic pain was the worst, was my neck. Because I used to yak people in that UTEP stadium, boy, yak them. So I lean back, I feel my neck, and I'm like, the thought crossed my mind. So what if you figure out the keys to live to 200, but you can't get rid of this pain in your neck?
Are you done with it now? Chronic pain?
Oh yeah, I'm out of it. But I lean back, and here I am. I lean back in my chair. I say, what if I can't get this pain to stop, and I figure out how to live 200? The thought, with no resistance, this thought pops into my head, all nonchalant, like, well, I guess I'd quit. Like, it wasn't like immediate suicide, like I'm gonna kill myself. But like, I never thought it would be possible for me to ever think that it would ever make sense to quit. But my mind was in such an analytical space that was the obvious answer. And so the next day, I'd never been to this yoga studio. I just researched online, top yoga studios. I'm like, okay, this one looks good. They have yoga teacher training. I show up the next day. I literally, once teacher training started, I was just like, I'm so committed, because I was raised in religion. So I didn't want to go into something that I thought might have be a spiritual practice or just without like really understanding it. And I knew, because I tried yoga at one point for like a couple weeks, I knew that some of the keys I was going to need sometime in life were in yoga. So if I was going to do it, I was going to go all the way in. And I just gave up one of my favorite things in the world, and yoga in combination with some anti-aging, anti-inflammation protocols, I was able to decrease my pain. I was still bitter. I was still resentful, because at that point I had started to get really good at what I did, because I like knew it so well in my own body. And then the yoga took it to another level, because I became so aware of my body and like figuring out like how to heal myself, because none of these healers or doctors could do it. So I had to figure out on my own how to decrease the pain. So I started getting other people out of pain there in that yoga studio, started doing body work, and then I was like learning the science with the doctors, and I started getting really good. I started getting really cocky about it too. I'm like, you might die, but I'm the best. Like, it's gonna hurt, but I'm the best. And so I did that for years.
You just put all these experiences, all the training, you just started putting it together. And it's
really
the evolution of a man. I mean, that's what it boils down to. You know, I don't feel the same, you know, when I started, you know, my business, my entrepreneurship, I'm not the same guy. You know, you just start accumulating all these experiences, and it doesn't matter how many times you trip, it's how many times you get up, right? We've always heard that term. But you can see, I mean, I know exactly what you're saying. I felt that before. You start getting cocky because you're like, and things start brushing off your shoulders too fast. Everything slips off, you know, all those hard times, that the things that used to be hard before are no longer hard.
Yeah.
You start cracking those codes, just the way you say it. And this is what leads you to Jake Paul.
This is what
who finds who first?
What got me to the level where I started working with like millionaires, and then my friends started talking like, wow, you're like really getting good. Like, you know, you got these millionaires talking about you. Then I was like an anti-aging chef for this billionaire, and I was doing just like healing work, and my friend Izadi was working with Jake Paul at the time, and when he decided he wanted to go into boxing, Izadi was like, hey, if you're serious about boxing, you gotta work with this guy. You know, he was a pro boxer himself. I've seen him knock out plenty of people in Vegas, and now he's like a healer yogi, and he just knows what you're going to be going through and can help you with the longevity of your career. And it was like probably 2 months into his boxing training and everything, and I've been working with him since.
Damn.
You know, I did some like acrotherapeutics and some healing on him for 15 minutes, and he's like, yeah, you're hired. So we've
and you're Puerto Rico because of him?
Well, yeah, he's him, and he's a big client. So, you know, over the years, I've been working with him more and more and more. It used to be like once every 2 weeks, then it was once a week, and now it's like several times a week.
Wow.
You know, and you know, I still have clients in LA, so I fly to LA every 2 weeks.
No wonder.
And I'm there for 3 days and 1 day of travel. So I'm gone for 4 days every 2 weeks, 8 days a month. And I have a long wait list in LA. I have a long wait list in Miami. I have a long wait list in Puerto Rico. Like, it's super fun what I do. And it's great having clients, because Jake really helped me take it to another level, because he was really the first client to need the consistency that
an athlete needs.
And I was able to like continue to evolve the healing system I do. By the way, I'm an engineer, so I built a $20,000 table that's super high technology that helps optimize the nervous system for healing and leads to a psychedelic healing experience. Like, people have a full-on DMT release, which is the active ingredient in ayahuasca. We naturally have that in our brain. It's released when we're in our embryo. It's how we get here from the spirit world. And then when we die, all the DMT we have drops down into our pineal gland. And that's the light we see when people have near-death experiences or are brought back to life. That light that they see is the DMT being dropped into their primal eye, or the third eye. And that's the light that they see. And then they go through that tunnel, and that's how they get to the spirit world. It's how we get here. That's how we leave. When people do ayahuasca, when people do iboga, when they do DMT,
Jesus, bro.
Smoke DMT, it melts away this reality, and then they're in the spirit world. So that's what's happening. But you can naturally induce this DMT release through breath work, and it's a highly parasympathetic breath work. And that is what's guided and intensified on my table. So it's pretty nuts. Again, combining all the things that I learned. You know, I was a computer engineer in college, you know.
Wow. Dude, I'm blown away, man. Like,
it's kind of nuts.
Yeah, it's nuts. Like the things that you've been doing, how you've, grown. And I mean, when we said your title, longevity specialist and master healer, you got to give some thought to both of these titles, because there's a lot that goes into that. And man, I applaud your work and your growth. And I know you put in the time in this art,
I study a
this
lot.
craft. Huh?
I study a lot.
Yeah, you do. I mean, you come from some genius, to say the least. And I think you were gifted, from birth, a lot of, intelligence, and the fact that you're a very passionate just athlete. You're now at a position
I've been through the pain. Like I've been through the pain. Like I feel so thankful to God, really, truly, truly, truly thankful, because man, I was like, God, why have you forsaken me? Like it's one thing to deal with chronic pain as a young person. It's another thing to deal with chronic pain after being the strongest pound for pound in the entire college sports.
I used to see you on stage or just next to me in pictures, and I always had difficulty growing. I mean, I was fit, but I had problems growing and putting on some mass. And I used to look at you and like, we're nearly the same age. And this guy you were literally like huge, man. Like to me, your arms they weren't proportionate to your body. Your arms were just ridiculously big, man.
Bro, I got to do some curls again. I didn't even do curls at the time. I was just so hardcore about like bench and throwing people around on the field. And
yeah,
my arms were huge.
Man, you were the talk of the town, for real. I think, we lived in a small partying world, I guess, that we pertain to, right? But yeah. I think eventually people knew who you were, with time, because, to this day, I'll meet up people, old friends, and they're like, you remember Ibach and the things that, that we did together. But I mean, your image was just outrageous. It was out of this world. It wasn't the typical dude from El Paso or anywhere, man. You're just, aesthetically well gifted, man. And you put in the work. I have so many things that I wanted to ask, but I think you put them all into perspective. I want to play one last game with you before we wrap up. Is that cool?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Let's do this game called This or That. Okay. This is, we learn a little bit more about you. All right. This is just really simple. This or that, rapid fire. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
Phone call or text?
Text.
Toast or eggs?
Well, it depends on who it is for the phone call or text. Or toaster eggs?
Yeah.
Toaster eggs. But I eat just eggs. I'm vegan.
Oh, you're vegan?
Yeah. Every once in a while I will have eggs, but
okay.
I don't feel bad about it because it's just a chicken, period.
Oh, okay. Cardio or weights? Weights. Facebook or Twitter?
Facebook.
Ice cream cone or snow cone?
Ice cream cone.
Mobile games or console games?
Definitely console games.
All right. Music or podcast?
In the car, podcast. So podcast.
Okay. iOS or Android?
Definitely iOS. What's Android? Who does that? What year is it right now?
I say the same thing. Get out of that rock. Okay. This is going to be good because I know you're about these form or function?
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Right?
Wow.
You can go multiple ways with this, but give me an answer.
Okay, I'm gonna say. I'm gonna have to say form.
Pop or indie? Pop or indie?
Pop.
Okay. Cake or pie?
Whew, that's just rude. I'm gonna say pie.
Pie.
Close.
Swimming or sunbathing?
Swimming.
Okay. High tech or low tech?
High tech.
Big party or small gathering? Back then.
Big party
now.
still.
Huh?
It's definitely evening out, but still big party.
Okay. All right. Rich friend or loyal friend?
Loyal friend, always.
Absolutely. Work hard or play hard?
Work hard.
Work hard?
Yeah.
Yeah. Laundry or dishes?
Work smart is my favorite.
Work smart.
Laundry, dishes.
Dishes. Okay.
Yeah.
Jogging or hiking?
Dishes are therapeutic to me. Hiking for sure.
Okay. Sneakers or sandals? Yeah.
Sandals.
I was gonna say, yeah, you're about to that now. Hamburger or taco?
Hamburger.
Hamburger. Okay, I thought you were gonna. Since you live here, I thought you were gonna say taco.
Vegan hamburger for sure.
Okay.
Unless it's Pepe's Tacos.
Unless what?
Unless it's Pepe's Tacos.
Pepe's Taco. Shout out to Pepe's Tacos then. Passenger or driver?
Driver.
Driver. All right, lead the way, man. All right, Mr. Ocean, Ibach. Thank you so much, man. I've learned so much. This has been an amazing. I mean, we were trying to hit 30 minutes, but I think we went above and beyond. Thank you so much. It was totally worth it. You're my boy. You're my friend. And I had no clue. More than 50% of the things that we talked about, I had no clue. I'm extremely proud of you. I'm so happy to call you my friend. Man, may the God and the Lord be with you and bless you. Keep, guiding you in the correct path. I think you do wonders. And thank you for taking the time, brother.
Absolutely, brother. I had so much fun. It was so great connecting with you. It felt like a blast from the past with so much love. I feel your love and support, like even
Absolutely.
though we haven't like checked in as much as we could. And I think God brings, people back around for a reason, because I could use some PR work, because nobody knows what I do. I'm a Scorpio. I like to keep stuff close to home to get to a certain level. And now I'm ready to share it with the world. But it's actually a lot more than
I'm sure.
There's a
lot of
crazy stuff we're working on.
Next time that you're in town, I'm going to put you on our set. In fact, we're going to have a new set pretty soon. The next couple of weeks, we're going to have a brand new set. And
Nice.
I like to have you come in person, man. And we'll talk and visit again. Is that cool?
Awesome. It sounds good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's our time with Mr. Ocean, all the way from Puerto Rico. You have a blessed one. Everybody out there, you guys have a blessed day. I'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Wow, what an amazing interview, right, guys? It was a longer episode than usual, but we definitely gained a lot of knowledge. So we want to go ahead and thank Ocean for pouring all this knowledge into us. Before this interview, there was a lot of things that I didn't know. So I leave this interview with an open mind and super honored to have had you on our show this evening. Thank you once again. And we will see you here on our next episode.
Players Radar offers media services for teams and individual players. Video tower gameplay footage, custom Steadicam player footage, drone aerial scenes, studio and action player photography. Remember, if it's not on video, then it never happened. Become the next target.
Baila El Paso Baila. LAT Studio offers a full dance division with jazz, hip hop, ballet, and contemporary. Visit latstudio.com today.